Hello everyone, this is Venma Pehan. Today I want to share how I set up a web server inside a virtual machine using AWS. I'll tell you what I did, what problem I faced, how I solved them in a way that's easy for beginners to understand. So today's topic is configuring a web server in an AWS virtual machine with my process and experience. So here we go. This talk has two main goals. First, to show how we can host a website using virtual machines on AWS. Second, to show my real learning journey, including the mistakes and how I fixed them. Let me explain this with a real life example. At the end of the day, 3 of my friends and I stayed in a rented house during our internship. We had to do everything there, like cooking, cleaning, budgeting, going job, and preparing exams and preparation for final year projects like lot. So it wasn't easy at first, but we learned along the way. And also we often had disagreements in that house because every responsibility was ours. We are new to that environment. Setting up web server was like that. We learned to manage IT system in the cloud using virtual machines. Step 1. Launch VM. I started by creating a virtual machine using Amazon EC2. I chose Windows Server 2022 and a small free tier instance called T2 Micro. To connect and host my site, I opened two ports, one for RDP to log in remotely and one for HTTP to show the website. Step 2. Connect to the VM. Next, I connected to the virtual machine using remote desktop. It felt like using a normal Windows computer, but it was running on the cloud. Step 3. Install IIS. Once I logged in, I opened Server Manager and installed IIS, which is the web server software in Windows. It was a bit confusing at first, but I followed each step slowly and got it installed. The next step 4. Deploy website. After IIS was ready, I copied my website files into the folder called www.root, which is located into that virtual machine's local disk C, and you can find their inetpub folder. Into that folder you can find again www.root folder. Into that folder only you can place your website file. Okay, so next I copied the public DNS from AWS console and opened it in the browser. So my website was live. Okay, here what challenges I faced, because it wasn't that smooth process. I faced a few problems. I didn't know which subnet to choose. I got confused with security group rules and installation of IIS and that setups. And Chrome didn't show my site at all at first try. So I fixed each issue slowly by reading AWS help page and opening missing ports and discussed with trainers. And also I cleared Chrome DNS cache. Okay, hereafter I will explain about few terminologies which is so crucial for host a website. So what is web server? The web server is a software or a hardware that stores, process and deliver web pages to users. That is, a web server is something that takes a request from the browser and sends back to the website. In my case, IIS was the web server. So when someone types a website URL, the web server handles that request and serves the corresponding HTML page. For example, you can try www.something canva, mama or ekascloud.com. You can try it in your browser. Your browser sends a request to that web server. It returns the website content. Okay, the next slide. So here, importance of ports. Ports are like doors. Do you not think security groups in AWS acts like firewalls? That firewalls have a different doors. So ports are like doors. If the doors is closed, people can't come in. Same way, if we don't open the right ports, the website won't load. So I allowed here port 80 for HTTP and port 3389 for RDP. RDP for access the virtual machine in my local desktop, and port 80 HTTP for to host a non-secure website. And additionally, we have a HTTPS port 443. This is nothing but this is a secure version of port 80. In today's session, we only use these two ports. So okay, next, protocols. Why they matter? Protocols are like common languages, are a translator, because without protocols it would be like people speaking different languages with no translator. Same system wouldn't know how to communicate securely and correctly. So these protocols are act as a translator between the servers, because each server has a different receive and response, like a different understanding level. With these protocols, all devices can communicate with each other securely and safely. Okay, the last one is basic settings to host a website inside the virtual machine. So create a easy to instance and configuring the security group. So don't forget to enable RDP and HTTP if you are practice. So next, connect to the VM. Next, install Webserver software IIS. Deploy the website. And second, in your virtual machine you can find your local disk C. Into that folder you can find your inet pub. After, you have to click that folder. Inside you can find www root folder. Inside that folder only you place your website files. Next, you can access through the public DNS in your browser. So this journey taught me a lot. Not just how to open the ports or install software. Learn how to set up the basic web server on AWS, face the real world issues and solve them with research, understand the roles of ports and protocols and IIS, gained hands-on confidence in cloud setup. Like managing home, it's all about responsibility and learning by doing. Thank you.